Hello, guten Tag. I have been making videos that strike at the truth, but I've been shying away from pronouncing the truth the way it ought to be. In this video, I'm going to do that. I want to talk about Biafra, about southern Nigeria, about Nigeria, and see our position for real without deceiving ourselves. The only leader that the Igbo people ever produced that is patriotic was Edumeka Ojukwu, who put his wealth, his position, his life, and everything where his mouth is. The problem that we call Nigeria today was the making of Azikwe. After the first election that he won, or he was in front, and Awolowo was second, he gave the power to the North and continued to be the president of Nigeria instead of his prime minister. They've already agreed that he will be the prime minister and Awolowo will be the assistant. Then, during the time of General Agui Irozi took power from the state and give it to the federal government. The structure was that the regions were powerful and he took away their power. And during military government, it's very difficult for the state to say anything or for the regions to say anything because they were totally under him. So that was the problem that Edumeka Ojukwu was trying to solve. And is the only tall leader that Nigeria ever produced. And we will not have any other person like him in this nation called Nigeria. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Now, before Aburi, the North was to go. They were ready to go. It was the British and the Americans that told Yakubu Gowon to stay put, and Nigeria became a program. The program that we are still running up till now. After Yakubu Gowon won the war for Nigeria, we step into the prison that is now called Nigeria. Let me ask you a question and I will make comparison, and then you understand our predicament. We say Abacha or General Abacha was a very corrupt person, and we see his loot all over the world. But Abacha did not spoil Nigeria. Where is the loot that was taken during the time of Shagari? President Shagari sat on the worst face of Nigeria. That was the face that made us into a poor nation. But no money was forthcoming from the people who looted Nigeria during that time because it was a British American program. And so no money will come out. Now we have leaders like the IPOD chairman who is trying to take Biafra out of Nigeria. Let us look at what Moses did. Moses was ordained from the beginning by God. Moses wanted to free his people and let them go. God put Moses in the palace of the Pharaoh. And before his time, he wanted to free his people, and he failed miserably. And mind you, Moses was to be the next Pharaoh after the king. It was already a forgotten conclusion that this man Moses would be a Pharaoh. That is like you mortgage the whole of your line to an unknown quantity. But this man was ready to do it. And yet, Moses failed and ran away, only to be met by God at the right time and come. Nigeria as an entity is a program that is running. No amount of your running to Europe and seeking the help of the Europeans will help you. Ojukwu stood in line, and he was well placed to remove Biafra from Nigeria. But the power that be refused to allow him to go. It was not General Yakubu Gowon that refused to allow Ojukwu to go. Left for General Yakubu Gowon, he will allow him to go. But the power that be said no. Gowon was ready to leave Nigeria and take the north out of Nigeria. And that was because of the Igbos. He said the Igbos are too dominating and they will not allow anything to happen in Nigeria until and unless they leave this nation. But the ambassador of America and the ambassador of Britain said nothing doing. You don't give up. We'll see to it that Nigeria stay put as it is. And at Aburi, Yakubu Gowon gave everything that will make Nigeria to stay as one. He was a very patriotic man, but the power that be at his back told him, no, this is not the way to run a government. You have to be strong. And until the time will come that God will give us a solution to leave Nigeria, we are not leaving. You remember what caused Aburi was the plane crash in the east that was loaded with ammunition for Biafra. That called the attention of Yakubu Gowon, and he queried his governor and said, what are you doing? What are you planning for? And that gave them Aburi, because Ojukwu bluntly told him, I'm planning to leave Nigeria. And he said, instead of your leaving Nigeria, tell me whatever you want and I will give it to you. Ojukwu do not feel safe enough to stay in Nigeria. And that is why the meeting was done in Aburi in Ghana. Now, from that time up till now, the power that be has solidified the North. The North now supply us with food, with meat, with whatever you can think of. And the alimanjeri that you see on the road and the poverty that you see in the North are just a camouflage of the reality of the northern region. What will leave us and take us from Nigeria will be the grace of God, not of our own making, but when the time is ripened for us to leave Nigeria. Let us face the path. iPod is trying, but they don't have the power. They don't even have the audacity of Colonel Odumeka Ojukwu. In all ways, you look at this man, he was taller than everybody around him. From a rich family, from the type of education he had, and yet he failed. Do you think the rest will pass? In passing, I will talk about Amotekun as I'm closing. Amotekun will be a problem to the Yoruba land, because we will unleash all the jujus that we have, and Satan never do anything good for us. Thank you. Thank you.